Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Adat kita menyambut tetamu, salam dihulur mesti bertamu. Hamparkan tikar, lebarkan pintu, pemaris bicara aluan didahulu. Yang berbahagia, Datuk Tahniah binti Haji Jaman, Pengarah Pendidikan Negeri Sabah, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Yang berusaha, Dr. Haji Muhammad Kasim bin Tusin, Timbalan Pengarah Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Yang berusaha, Encik Pandir Loda, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Kanan Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah merangkap pengerusi Aspirasi 4 SISC Plus Sabah. Yang berusaha Haji Iqbal Han Ismail, Ketua Penolong Pengarah, Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah merangkap penyelaras Aspirasi 4 SISC Sabah. Yang berusaha semua pegawai pengurusan tertinggi Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Yang berusaha semua pegawai pendidikan daerah Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah. Yang berusaha Barisan Pembentang Program Jajah Aspirasi 4 SISC Siri 2 2022. Yang berusaha semua ahli Google Educators Group GEG, Academy YouTubers Malaysia dan semua pegawai SISC Plus Sabah dan para hadirin serta semua ahli jawatan kuasa majlis yang dihormati sekalian. Salam bahagia, salam sejahtera, salam Sabah Maju Jaya, salam JPN Sabah, sepakat Sabah hebat. Selamat datang ke majlis perasmian pembukaan jaringan dan jalinan holistik Jajah Aspirasi 4 SISC Plus Sabah. Siri 2 Peringkat Kebangsaan tahun 2022 Anjuran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Tetak Bulu Kajang 10 Laksan Titik Ibadat. Angka 10 Doa di Pohon Biar Selamat. Bagi memberkati majlis kita pada hari ini, marilah kita sama-sama mengaminkan doa yang akan dipimpin oleh Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Sufyan bin Abdullah. Dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wassalim. Ya Allah, pada hari yang penuh bermakna ini, kami berhimpun dengan penuh rasa kesyukuran di atas nikmat kesehatan, kesejahteraan, keamanan, dan kemakmuran yang Engkau kurniakan. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang Maha Penyayang, bersempena dengan program Jajah ini, kami pohonkan Engkau permudahkanlah urusan kami, agar program ini berlangsung dengan teratur serta tercapai segala objektif. Kurniakanlah kami keazaman dan bekerja dengan tekun dan penuh kesungguhan. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang Maha Pengasih, suburkanlah pada diri kami rasa cinta, kasih sayang, kegembiraan, rasa bertanggung jawab, serta semangat saling menghormati sesama manusia, agar kami dapat memenuhi amanah dan menyantuni para pelanggan dengan tenang, dedikasi, dan penuh keikhlasan. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang Maha Mendengar, perkukuhkanlah keazaman, permuafakatan, dan persefahaman antara kami, agar kami mampu merealisasikan slogan keramat sepakat Sabah hebat. Justru itu, jadikanlah kami warga pendidikan yang sentiasa mengutamakan kecemerlangan dan budaya kerja yang berkualiti di setiap peringkat. Jadikanlah kami penjawat awam yang sentiasa menjaga tahap integriti yang tinggi, membenci rasuah, serta menghindari segala bentuk penyelewengan dan salah guna kuasa. Begitu juga setiap masa memperbaiki kelemahan dan melaksanakan penambahbaikan berterusan. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang Maha Berkuasa, anugerahilah kami kekuatan dan kesehatan untuk terus menyumbang jasa bakti di mana jua kami berada. Peliharalah kami dari perkara-perkara yang negatif, fitnah, perselisihan, dan segala kejahatan. Semoga kami merasa aman, tenang, dan produktif dalam melaksanakan tugas-tugas kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan, jadikanlah perhimpunan kami ini perhimpunan yang dirahmati, dan perpisahan kami selepas ini perpisahan yang terpelihara dari segala bencana. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wasallam. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin ya rabbal alamin. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, majlis kita diteruskan dengan menjemput dan mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Haji Muhammad Kasim bin Tusin, Timbalan Pengarah Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah untuk menyampaikan ucapan alu-aluan. Majlis mempersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Sabah Maju Jaya. Salam sepakat Sabah hebat. Salam SPP Transform. Aim for the best. Yang berbahagia Datuk Tahniah binti Haji Jaman, Pengarah Pendidikan Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Yang berusaha semua timbalan pengarah, semua ketua penolong pengarah kanan, ketua kaunselor pendidikan negeri, semua ketua penolong pengarah, semua pegawai pendidikan daerah, semua SIP partners dan SIC plus seluruh negeri Sabah. Yang dihormati semua penyumbang bahan program, semua rakan guru yang terlibat, dan semua AJK pengelola dan pelaksana program Jajah peringkat kebangsaan dari seluruh negara. Alhamdulillah, marilah sama-sama kita merapatkan setinggi kesyukuran kepada Allah SWT kerana dengan berkat, rahmat dan izinnya juga dapat saya mencoretkan sepatah dua kata dalam sisi ucapan alu-aluan ini. Saya ingin melakukan ucapan syabas dan tahniah kepada Tuan Kuasa Aspirasi 4 atas kejayaan melahirkan program kompilasi e-TOOLKIT Jajah Aspirasi 4 Anjuran JPN Sabah bagi tahun 2022. Bagi peserta Jajah yang berada bersama kita sekarang, saya berharap anda dalam keadaan sehat walafiat. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, inisiatif kompilasi e-TOOLKIT Jajah bukan sahaja melibatkan ahli dan kuasa program ini, malah melibatkan usaha sama para hadirin sekalian, terutama warga pendidik yang bersama-sama kita dalam siri 2 ini. Jajah merupakan satu inisiatif yang berpanjangan untuk memberikan warga pendidik peluang untuk menyumbang bahan PDP ke dalam pelantar Google Drive Jajah. Jajah juga merupakan sebuah perkhidmatan atas talian yang melibatkan webinar bersiri dan bahan PDP dalam bentuk elektronik. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kesepakatan merupakan prinsip penting dalam bekerja yang perlu kita teruskan dalam memacu kecemerlangan pendidikan negara. Sehubungan dengan itu, saya ingin menggalakkan para hadirin sekalian untuk memuat naik bahan PDP yang bersesuaian dengan kurikulum pendidikan kita di Malaysia ke dalam pelantar ini. Dengan adanya kesepakatan ini, secara langsung kita dapat membantu warga pendidik serta murid-murid yang memerlukan bahan rujukan atau bahan aktiviti tambahan. Akhir kata, saya mengharapkan agar kita berusaha meningkatkan kualiti PDP serta profesionalisme keguruan dan menyumbang kepada kemajuan murid. Semoga program ini diteruskan bagi membina ukhuwah serta menyatu padukan semua warga sekolah dan seterusnya melahirkan generasi Indonesia yang sejahtera. Saya akhiri ucapan saya dengan dua rangkapan. Langit luas marwahna biru, indah hiasan pandangan mata. Alam berkembang menjadi guru. Anugerah Allah untuk semua. Burung helang bulunya lebat, gagah melayang serata buana. Usaha tekad sepadu sepakat, kemenjadian murid dijunjung bersama. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Sudilah Datuk berjalan berlapan penuh impian. Sudilah Datuk beri ucapan, pembuka kata ucapan perasmian. Sebagai pembuka tirai Majlis Perasmian Pembukaan Jaringan dan Jalinan Holistik Jajah, Aspirasi 4 SISC Plus Sabah, Siri 2, Peringkat Kebangsaan tahun 2022 Anjuran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah memulakan bingkisan ucapan majlis dengan tunduk kasihnya menjemput yang berbahagia Datuk Tahniah binti Haji Jaman, Pengarah Pendidikan Negeri Sabah, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah untuk menyampaikan ucapan seterusnya merasmikan majlis pembukaan pada hari ini. Majlis dengan hormatnya mempersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam sepakat, Sabah hebat. Yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Kasim bin Haji Tusin, Timbalan Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah merangkap penasihat aspirasi SIC Plus. Yang berusaha Tuan Pandir bin Loda, KPPK Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah merangkap pengerusi aspirasi 4 SIC Plus Sabah. Yang berusaha Tuan Haji Iqbal Khan Ismail, KPP Sektor Pembelajaran JPN Sabah merangkap penyelaras aspirasi SIC Plus Sabah. Yang dihormati barisan SIC Plus selaku ahli jawatan kuasa projek e-TOOLKIT Jajah dan para hadirin sekalian. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dikasihi, saya ingin merakamkan ucapan tahniah kepada kumpulan aspirasi 4 SIC Plus JPN Sabah yang diketuai oleh Tuan Pandir bin Loda dan juga daripada SIC Plus dan guru-guru negeri Sabah, wilayah Persekutuan Labuan, Perak, Melaka dan Kedah kerana telah berjaya melancarkan projek kompilasi e-TOOLKIT Jajah pada hari ini. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan tahniah kepada pembentang-pembentang kita pada hari ini yang terdiri dalam kalangan guru pakar mata pelajaran, penulis modul atau pereka cipta bahan PDP di negeri Sabah. Turut membantu bersama pada hari ini adalah trainer jurulatih dari Google Educator Group Kota Kinabalu and Academic YouTubers Malaysia. Perkongsian projek kompilasi e-TOOLKIT Jajah Peringkat Kebangsaan atau ringkasnya Jajah yang membawa maksud jaringan dan jalinan holistik. Hubungan kerjasama antara Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, pejabat pendidikan daerah dan sekolah dalam mencorakkan landscape pendidikan di peringkat masing-masing banyak dipengaruhi oleh kerjasama semua pihak. Jaringan dan jalinan akan dapat menyebarluaskan matlamat sekolah dan dasar KPM untuk membangunkan sekolah melalui teknologi dan sekaligus mewujudkan suasana komuniti yang menjaga dan menyokong murid dalam pembelajaran. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sistem pendidikan dahulu menekankan guru untuk mengajar. Murid hanya menerima ilmu pengetahuan yang dicurahkan oleh guru. Ini menyebabkan murid kurang berdikari kerana tidak berkembang dari sudut pengetahuan. Gurulah yang banyak bercakap dan menyoal. Bagaimanapun, kini peranan guru lebih penting sebagai pemudah cara dalam proses pembelajaran. Sebagai pemudah cara, guru perlu lebih bersedia dan peka melahir dan menggunakan situasi-situasi pembelajaran secara cekap dan berkesan. Murid perlu selalu digerak untuk berfikir secara kreatif dan kritikal. Malahan, murid dijangka dapat menyoal guru serta membantu guru membuka luas pintu pembelajarannya. Kini pelbagai teknik pengajaran dan pembelajaran dicipta untuk menarik minat murid agar menjadi pembelajar aktif. Namun, disebabkan oleh pelbagai kekangan, maka guru kurang mempelbagaikan teknik pengajaran dan pembelajaran dan kerap menggunakan teknik PDP yang sama semasa menyampaikan PDP dalam kelas, menyebabkan murid berasa bosan. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, satu tinjauan keperluan telah dilaksanakan oleh SIC Plus Aspirasi 4 untuk mengenal pasti punca isu dan keperluan guru dan murid. Antaranya, pertama, mewujudkan peluang kolaboratif atau jaringan dan jalinan antara penyumbang dan pengguna e-TOOLKIT PDP. Yang kedua, membantu guru dalam menyelesaikan isu PDP melalui perkongsian intervensi atau bahan PDP. Yang ketiga, mewujudkan pelantar smart sharing e-TOOLKIT PDP yang sedia ada. Dan yang keempat, mewujudkan e-TOOLKIT PDP bagi SIC Plus atau pegawai sekolah guru yang melibatkan intervensi atau aktiviti yang melibatkan permainan PDP, teknik dan strategi PDP serta bahan modul atau bank soalan. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dikasihi sekalian, berdasarkan keperluan tersebut, maka lahirlah Matlamat PROJEK ini, iaitu untuk meningkatkan kerjasama antara pakar, guru, guru-guru cemerlang dan juga guru mata pelajaran untuk berkongsi atau menghasilkan e-kompilasi amalan atau bahan PDP guna sama. Oleh itu, tim Aspirasi 4 SISC Plus JPN Sabah memulakan langkah dengan melaksanakan perkongsian projek e-TOOLKIT dari SIC Plus dan juga guru pelbagai bidang di peringkat kebangsaan pada hari ini di peringkat kebangsaan pada hari ini dengan harapan untuk menghimpunkan toolkit teknik dan strategi PDP, toolkit modul permainan PDP dan toolkit soalan dan modul PDP dan dikongsikan kepada semua guru agar guru dapat mempelbagaikan bahan untuk digunakan semasa melaksanakan PDP di dalam bilik darjah. Kumpulan sasaran projek ini adalah SIC Plus, ketua bidang, ketua panitia dan guru mata pelajaran sekolah rendah dan sekolah menengah dan melibatkan semua bidang. Sangatlah diharapkan warga pendidik dapat memainkan peranan bukan sahaja sebagai pengguna kit ini tetapi sebagai penyumbang kepada kit ini. Harapan kami ialah projek ini dapat memberikan impak kepada PDP dalam kelas serta meningkatkan kemenjadian murid. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, akhir kata, semoga perkongsian projek kompilasi bahan PDP e-TOOLKIT peringkat kebangsaan ini mendapat sambutan yang menggalakkan daripada warga pendidik di seluruh negara. Kerjasama semua pihak untuk merealisasikan projek ini agar dapat mencapai matlamat dan objektifnya amatlah dihargai. Dengan berakhirnya ucapan ini, saya dengan sukacitanya melancarkan projek kompilasi e-TOOLKIT Jajah JPN Sabah. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Jajah,
Sidang hadirin, budi yang baik menjadi kenangan, kenangan manis tetap disimpan, penat lelah dijadikan cabaran, niat yang baik dijadikan pegangan. Pada majlis hari ini, kami ingin mengambil kesempatan untuk meraihkan persaraan dua rakan seperjuangan SISC kelas kami, iaitu Encik Anandan Doraisami dan Puan Hajah Rina Jasmine, yang mana merupakan mantan SISC kelas Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Sandakan. Kami ucapkan selamat bersara buat kedua-dua rakan SISC kelas yang sangat berjasa dalam bidang pendidikan. Nasihat, budi baik dan kenangan bersama akan tetap diingati sampai bila-bila. Semoga sentiasa diberi kesihatan yang baik dan dirahmati selalu. Semoga sentiasa mengingati kami seperti mana kami mengingati anda berdua. Dengan ini, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sebagai tanda penghargaan buat Encik Ananda dan Tuan Hajarina, marilah abadikan bersama video penghargaan ini buat kedua-dua rakan kami. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, selesai sudah majlis perasmian pembukaan jaringan dan jalinan holistik Jajah Aspirasi 4 SISC kelas Sabah Siri 2. Peringkat Kebangsaan tahun 2022 Anjuran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, selepas ini majlis akan diteruskan dengan sesi sidang selari yang terbahagi kepada 4 sidang, iaitu sidang sains dan matematik, sidang sains sosial, Sidang Bahasa dan Sidang TVET. Majlis dengan berbesar hati menjemput semua hadirin untuk bersama-sama menonton perkongsian amalan terbaik oleh para pembentang Aspirasi 4 SISC kelas Sabah Siri 2 2022 selepas ini. Jangan lepaskan peluang keemasan ini, marilah kita teruskan menimba ilmu bersama. Oleh itu, para hadirin dimohon untuk memilih daripada 4 link YouTube yang anda inginkan mengikut bidang yang tertera dalam deskripsi YouTube dan iklan poster program. Kita akan terus bersiaran secara live dalam masa 5 minit lagi bagi sesi sidang selari selepas ini. Jumpa anda sebentar lagi. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat petang, salam sejahtera, salam Sabah hebat, salam JPN Sabah, sepakat Sabah hebat. Selamat datang ke sesi sidang selari bidang bahasa, jaringan dan jalinan holistik Jajah Aspirasi 4 SIC Plus Sabah, Siri 2, Peringkat Kebangsaan tahun 2022, Anjuran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Sidang hadirin, sebelum kita mendengar perkongsian daripada barisan pembentang bidang bahasa, pada petang ini, izinkan saya untuk menjemput dan mempersilakan pengurus PROJEK Sidang Selari Bidang Bahasa, Dr. Biti Ansawi, SIAC Plus Unit Bahasa, Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Tuaran, untuk menyampaikan kata-kata aluan. Majlis mempersilahkan.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Selamat datang ke sesi sidang selari bidang bahasa Jajah Seri 2 JPN Sabah untuk sesi 2022. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Bersyukur kita kehadirat Ilahi kerana dengan limpah kurnianya kita diberikan rezeki dan keizinan Allah Subhanahu wa taala kita dapat membuat sesi perkongsian yang sangat berharga pada petang ini. Sebelum saya meneruskan ucapan saya ingin berkongsi mengenai panduan dan pengguna dan penyumbang untuk jaringan dan jalinan holistik ini. Untuk terma syarat pengguna, jika Anda berminat untuk mendaftar sebagai pengguna untuk kit teknik dan strategi PDP ini, apa yang perlu Anda lakukan? Pertama adalah daftarkan diri Anda sebagai pengguna sebelum menggunakan bahan yang ada di dalam kit yang kita akan kongsikan sebentar lagi ini. Seterusnya pula, bahan ini boleh digunakan untuk tujuan PDP atau perkongsian yang bukan berbentuk komersial, di mana perkongsian ini adalah untuk bagaimana membantu guru-guru di sekolah meningkatkan kualiti PDP mereka dengan harapan bahan ini seterusnya memudahkan aktiviti PDP yang akan guru laksanakan nanti. Sila mohon kebenaran daripada urus setia bagaimana untuk menggunakan bahan yang akan dilaksanakan, yang akan digunakan oleh mereka. Seterusnya, hanya bahan yang berkaitan sahaja yang boleh digunakan dengan yang berkaitan yang boleh diambil daripada folder yang disediakan di dalam yang akan disediakan oleh urus setia. Di mana bahan-bahan dokumen ini sulit dan tidak dimuat naik tanpa kebenaran daripada pembina ataupun penyumbang-penyumbang bahan yang telah berdaftar secara rasmi melalui program ini. Dilarang sama sekali untuk menjual atau mengiklankan bahan-bahan yang ada di dalam folder yang kita akan share untuk kegunaan semua. Pihak Aspirasi 4 JPN Sabah tidak akan bertanggung jawab atas kegagalan penyumbang untuk mengikuti syarat-syarat yang telah ditetapkan. Itu adalah terma dan syarat untuk penyumbang bagi kit bank soalan modul PDP. Seterusnya, mari kita ke bahagian panduan pengguna bahan. Anda semua jika berminat untuk menggunakan bahan-bahan ini, guru-guru boleh mendaftarkan diri di dalam link yang akan kami sediakan sebelum menggunakan bahan yang ada dalam kit ini. Sila gunakan bahan ini untuk tujuan PDP sahaja dan bukan untuk komersial. Selain daripada itu, mohon kebenaran daripada penyumbang juga untuk menggunakan bahan ini di dalam PDP mereka. Sila jaga hak cipta penyumbang bahan agar tidak dapat ataupun tidak boleh menyumbang, menyalin mana-mana bahan atau mengubah nama yang terdapat pada bahan-bahan yang telah disumbangkan oleh penyumbang-penyumbang bahan ini, tanpa memberi kredit kepada pencipta bahan. Pihak SAINS Plus sekali lagi tidak akan bertanggung jawab untuk ataupun atas kegagalan pengguna untuk mengikuti syarat-syarat yang telah ditetapkan. Okey. Mari kita ke soalan, adakah Anda berminat sebagai penyumbang atau pengguna? So, jika Anda berminat sebagai penyumbang atau pengguna, boleh menghubungi saya untuk unit bahasa ataupun subjek-subjek bahasa untuk kita ketengahkan di sesi-sesi yang akan datang. Begitu juga jika Anda guru-guru bahasa berminat untuk menggunakan bahan-bahan yang ada di dalam kit ini, boleh saja berhubung dengan urus setia untuk mendapatkan bahan-bahan ataupun berdaftar sebagai pengguna bahan pembelajaran PDP di dalam kit ini. Untuk permulaan ini, kita memulakan sesi bidang bahasa selari ini dengan memulakan bahasa Inggris terlebih dahulu. Keempat-empat perkongsian pada petang ini adalah kesemuanya bahasa Inggris, di mana untuk perkongsian akan datang kita buka dan mengalu-alukan semua ataupun mana-mana guru yang berminat untuk menyumbangkan bahan di dalam kit ini untuk kita sama-sama berkongsi di masa akan datang apa-apa jenis subjek dalam bahasa, yaitu bahasa selain daripada bahasa Inggris, yaitu bahasa Melayu, bahasa Arab, bahasa Kadazan Dusun, bahasa Cina dan juga bahasa antarabangsa. Kami JPN Sabah di bawah Aspirasi 4 sangat-sangat mengalu-alukan permohonan ataupun penyertaan Anda semua sebagai penyumbang bahan dan juga sebagai pengguna bahan yang kita akan kongsikan semasa sesi ini. Diharapkan bahan yang dikongsikan ini dapat memberikan manfaat kepada semua dan juga dapat membantu guru-guru di sekolah bagaimana untuk memperbaiki bahan PDP untuk lebih berkualiti dan juga bermakna untuk murid-murid Anda semua. Sekian daripada saya. Wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali kepada moderator.
Ucapan terima kasih kepada Dr. Biti Ansawi, pengurus projek Sidang Selari Bidang Bahasa atas pencerahan serta penjelasan mengenai program hari ini. Dengan itu, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, untuk Sidang Selari Siri 2 ini, kita akan mendengar perkongsian daripada 4 pembentang. Oleh itu, izinkan saya memperkenalkan pembentang pertama, yaitu Cikgu Muhammad Azwan bin Abdul Rahman, merupakan Ketua Panitia dan Guru Bahasa Inggris di SMK Datu Haji Panglima Jaktula Sempurna Sabah. Beliau merupakan pemegang option Bahasa Inggris dan telah mengajar subjek ini selama 12 tahun. Berikut pengalaman dan pencapaian beliau sepanjang 12 tahun sebagai guru Bahasa Inggris. Beliau juga merupakan pemeriksa kertas Bahasa Melayu Bahasa Inggris SPM bermula pada tahun 2018 hingga kini. Juga sebagai pempengaruh pendidikan atau edufluencer. Juga telah dinobatkan sebagai 100 peserta terbaik kempen Guru Pembelajaran Abad ke-21 Anjuran Padu dan Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia pada tahun 2018 dan sebagai penceramah teknik menjawab soalan kertas Bahasa Inggris SPM. Baiklah, kita akan mendengar pembentangan beliau. Dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Sabah Maju Jaya, salam JPN Sabah, sepakat Sabah hebat, and good afternoon everyone. Thank you to the moderator for introducing me. First of all, once again, I am Mr. Muhammad Azwan bin Abdurrahman, and I am an English teacher teaching at SMK Datuk Haji Panglima Jakarullah Sempurna Sabah. First of all, I feel so honored to be one of the contributors in this program, Jajah Aspirasi 4 SISC Plus Sabah. Thanks to JPN Sabah for having me, and of course to all of you who are watching us now. And today I will be sharing with all of you one of my best practices that I have been doing at my school, which is the PIE or PI. Some of you might be wondering what PI is. All right, let me show you the slides again. Thank you. Okay, so basically, PIE or PIE is the acronym for Partner in English, which is a program or an activity designed to strengthen the use of English among students, specifically outside the English class. The idea came from several issues that I have been experiencing with my students. The first issue is some of my students rarely speak or use English outside the classroom, and they only use the language to the max whenever they have English classes with me or with other English teachers. And then the second issue is the activities provided inside the classroom are not enough, since we only have 6 to 7 periods, which equals to 3 to 4 hours in a week. Therefore, the progress of the students is slower, since they only use the language for a limited time. And next, students who are having low self-esteem and lack of confidence, this doesn't only happen to the less proficient students, but to the more proficient students as well. Hence, this PI program or activity is carried out as an initiative to solve the issues. So the purpose of this program is to act as a form of exposures for the students to learn English outside the classroom. I believe everyone will agree with me that English language learning should never be confined within the classroom only. And then the second one, it is also hoped that this activity can help to enrich students' vocabulary and improve their English proficiency in a more fun way outside the classroom. You see, when the students are learning outside the classroom, it will give them different vibes. So by having or by doing this activity, the students can acquire the language or the skills implicitly, informally, and naturally, if we compare it to a more formal one inside the classroom. And another purpose is to encourage the more proficient students, which is the PI students, to help the less proficient students to learn English together. As a result, both groups will gain benefits and build confidence as they learn the language together in a more casual way, a non-threatening environment. Okay, next is the implementation of this program. Okay, this is how I carry out the activity. First, I select my own students from the classes that I teach and appoint them as the partners in English. And mostly those students who I selected are the more proficient students, and there are a few students who I think have a great influence towards other students as well. And then the next step is I prepare them with different sets of activities, maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks, depending on the task. And the activities comprise vocabulary enrichment, basic grammar, spelling, idioms, and other fun language activities. And then next one is this activity is carried out every day outside the classroom and not during the English class. For example, during the relief class, during recess, early in the morning, before the class starts, or while they are waiting for the bus or the next class at any time. So in order for me to observe and check their progress, I provide them with the activity form for them to write and record their sessions with other students. So they have to record the date, the time, the name of the activity, and the names of the students. It is because to ensure that they do not manipulate or make up the record. And then based on the list, I will randomly meet the students as ask the things that they have learned with their partner in English. It's just for some verifications as well as to ensure that they are on the right track. Okay. So here are some pictures. This one are my students from Form 5 Ibnu Sina, who I have appointed as the partners in English. While these are from 5 Ibnu Batuta. And these students are the partners in English from Form 4 Ibnu Sina. So if you guys notice in the pictures, they are holding the green files and the tags, right? And the files are for them to keep the materials and the activity form. And the tag that I provide, that I gave them is for me and for the other students to identify or recognize them as the partner in English. So whenever they see the students wearing this tag, they can just approach them, talk to them in English and ask them anything related to English. All right. So here are some pictures taken when they were doing the activities during recess and during the transition from morning session to afternoon session. Okay, so you can see the students were doing the activities with other students. These are the partners in English showing me the activity record and the tag that they are wearing. Okay. And then basically this is how the form looks like, the activity form. So this activity form, the PI students need to fill in after each session ends and for them to get the signature from the students whom they have their session with. And this one is the PI module or tasks that are given to the PI students. Currently, I am still in the middle of compiling and collecting more fun activities from various resources so that it can be used by the PI throughout the year. And for example, if you are looking on the screen, their first task was to introduce 5 strong adjectives together with the meaning and sentences to the other students. And I am planning to include more language games or riddles, quizzes, maybe so that the contents will not be too heavy, too boring, or too formal that might turn off their interest to learn English. All right, so next I will show you the video of the PI students or the partners in English conducting their first task with the other students during recess and the transition time from morning session to afternoon session. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fazli. I'm from 5 Ibnu Sina. First of all, what is your name?
Waalaikumsalam. My name is Muhammad Imran bin Omar.
What class you from?
Class 5.
Okay. Today I am your partner in English. I will teach you about strong adjective.
Hi, good morning. My name is Narina Airi from 5 Ibnu Sina. What is your name?
My name is Muhammad Jajah and I'm from 5 Ibnu Sina.
And you?
My name is Assalamualaikum and very good morning. My name is Muhammad Hairisham Iqmal.
My name is Narai Shafika from 5 Ibnu Batuta.
Can I have some of your time to share with you some strong adjectives?
Yes, sure.
Here are some strong adjectives that you can use in your essay that can make your essay more bombastic and more appealing to the teacher's eye.
Number 1 is filthy. Means very dirty. What's the meaning of very dirty? Sangat kotor. Sangat kotor.
Second, enormous, very big. Enormous, very big.
Thirdly, it is very clean and you can exchange it to spotless. The sentence that you can use is, my mother always keeps our house spotless.
Aesthetic. Aesthetic means very happy. What's the meaning of very happy? Sangat gembira. Sangat gembira.
Arul, I have taught you 5 words for today. So I want you to repeat 5 words to me with the meaning. Okay, very good. Thank you, Sharon.
Hi boys, Firdaus and Shukri. So your senior or your partner in English has shared with you 5 adjectives just now. Can you please tell me the adjective for very dirty?
Filthy.
Filthy, very good. Shukri, how about very big?
Enormous.
Enormous, awesome. Firdaus, what is the adjective for very clean?
Spotless.
Spotless, fantastic. And Shukri, what is the adjective for very happy?
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic, marvelous. And lastly, Firdaus, what is the adjective for very angry?
Furious.
Furious, very good. Good job, you guys. So have a nice day. Thank you. Okay, so basically that is how this activity works. The PI students will carry out this activity mostly outside the classroom and with the other students from other classes or from other forms. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay, now, what do you see on the slide? Social media. Talking about social media, we have to admit that it is one of the most famous and influential information and communication platforms used by all people of every age and level. And today, I believe most of our students spend at least more than 2 hours every day on social media, as it provides them not only entertainment, but also educational contents. So social media for them is the fun thing, right? And therefore, why don't we take their fun on social media for granted by providing them with the educational contents and involving them in the process of creating the content? I also encourage them to utilize their social networking platform to reach more students or friends. For example, this one. One of my PI students told me that she uses her Facebook, Messenger, and her WhatsApp to share and do the activity with her junior, and which has given me the idea to widen the scope of PI program or this PI activity. I think it doesn't have to be done at school only, but I think it would be more interesting to be done on social media as well, like TikTok. At least it is still parallel with the main purpose of the PI, which is to encourage students to practice and learn the language outside the classroom. All right, so I will show you again another TikTok content that my PI students created and have been shared on my TikTok account. Okay.
Hi guys, today we're going to share some new idioms that we learned, which is have a bigger fish to fry. We use the idiom. We can use the idiom in the situation like this. Oh my god, Nabila! Can I have your autograph? Sorry, I have a bigger fish to fry. Wait, what does it mean? Good question. The meaning of have a bigger fish to fry is to do something more important. Do you learn something new?
Hi friends, today we will share with you an idiom. The idiom is a face like thunder. Face like thunder. The meaning of this idiom is to look very angry. Or in Malay, kelihatan sangat marah. Kelihatan sangat marah.
Let's watch this.
Raimi, have you seen Kader? Yes, I just saw him with a face like thunder. Do you know what has happened to him? I don't know. Let's ask him together. Kader, why do you have a face like thunder?
Because Jim and Bakir stole my money. Now I don't have money to buy food.
That's so bad. Let's report this to our teacher.
Let's go.
Let's.
All right, so you have watched two videos on my TikTok just now that have been uploaded by me, and it was created by the Pi students. So far, the videos has gained more than 600 views since it was first uploaded last Saturday. And the aim to have Pi on TikTok is to attract more students from our own school to learn English through social media, and also to benefit the other students from other schools or from other places who are on social media as well. All right. Next, Pi as a school program. So as the head of English panel, I am planning to elevate this program as a school program in which it will involve more students from each form as well as the other teachers next year. Bigger, we are better, right? So this is the flow of the plan in making Pi activity as a school program. So we will start with appointing Pi partners in English from each form 1 to form 5. And maybe we appoint 2 teachers to be the coordinators for each form. And the responsibilities of the coordinators is to prepare the tasks or the materials every week. And then they have to train and monitor the Pi. And the coordinators also is responsible to check the Pi's progress through the form, the activity form. And then later on, all teachers ask questions to random students about what have they learned from Pi from time to time. All right. So I believe and we hope that by having more Pi students and coordinators, the program will be more successful and impactful to improve both language and social skills among the students. And secondly, we want to make Pi as the culture at school, whereby having it consistently, the students will no longer feel awkward or reluctant to use English outside the classroom. And last but not least, of course, to make sure that English learning is more fun and the students will no longer see English as a difficult language. So I think I have come to the end of my sharing today. Basically, that's all about partner in English. But before I pass this session to the moderator, I have received a few questions here. Yeah, I can just read it. Yeah, the first question here. Okay, let me read the question for you guys. Maybe the viewers on YouTube couldn't see the question. The question is from DK Siti Nur Akila. Hello, Mr. Azwan. Hello. What is your opinion in conducting this activity for primary school students? Okay, I think having this activity for primary school students is also a good idea because everyone can do this. Yeah, it's just the coordinators need to alter the activity based on the student's level. So basically, there's no problem conducting this activity for primary school students as long as the coordinators, the teachers guide and guide the students, the pupils, or the partner in English. Okay, just choose simple activities like games, quiz. Okay, so make sure they have fun with the activities. That's it. And then another question is, any suggestion on how to carry out this activity for primary students? So basically, yeah, you can just do it like what I am doing with my partners in English, you can just do the activity outside the English classroom during recess, before the class starts early in the morning, or maybe after assembly or during assembly. Oh yeah, at my school, we also have our English Tuesday. So sometimes we do this activity during the English Tuesday with the students. Okay, so I think that's all the questions from the audience, the viewers. So thank you everyone for staying with us and for listening to my sharing. And I shall pass this session back to the moderator.
Okey, Cikgu Azwan, satu perkongsian yang sangat bermanfaat dan menarik ya. Terima kasih banyak kepada Cikgu Muhammad Azwan atas perkongsian tadi. Okey, jika sidang hadirin, kita membuka ruang untuk Q&A sekarang. Okey, jika tidak ada, kita akan kembali selepas ini. Sidang hadirin, marilah pula kita mendengar daripada pembentang kedua, iaitu Cikgu N. Anak Sinden, Guru Bahasa Inggeris, Datuk Panglima Abdullah Sempurna Sabah, mengajar sejak tahun 2019 hingga kini. Cikgu N juga mengajar kelas SPM dalam Bahasa Inggeris sejak tahun 2021. Beliau merupakan penerima Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2 dan e-puzzle coach. Pencapaian ICT yang cukup membanggakan bagi guru muda ini. Cikgu N akan berkongsi tentang 4 strategi yang digunakan dalam meningkatkan kebolehan pelajar untuk bertutur dalam bahasa Inggeris. Dipersilakan Cikgu N. Cikgu N, no sound, tiada suara.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Now can you hear me?
Ya, boleh.
Okay. Thank you to the moderator and a very good morning I bid to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank JPN Sabah and Jajah team for having me here today. My name is N. Anak Sinden and I'm an English teacher in SMK Datuk Panglima Abdullah Sempurna. Today, I would like to share my best practices in teaching speaking. Okay. So, in my school, most of the students are struggling with these issues. They are lacking of vocabularies, they are too shy to speak, and they are afraid of making mistakes. So, it's difficult to teach English, especially speaking, in my class. To encourage my students to speak, I have used 4 strategies that I'm going to share with you today. The first strategy is called acting and role play. Okay. I did this role play activity with my students when I taught them this unit 4B, page 61 on full blast textbook. Students work in pair and then I have wait. So this one, so they have to do the role play with the sentence begin with, may I have the MP4 player back? So students came up with their own situation and excuses on why they cannot return the MP4. So that's one of the activity. Another activity is this one was shared by my colleague, Ms. Razika. It's called impromptu acting. Students were divided into groups of 5, and they were given situations whereby in every situation there's a presence of tourists. So they have to create dialogues to talk to these tourists, and they have to act it out. The second strategy that I use with my students is through presentation. I like to do presentation because I believe that it's very important for students to master presentation skill when they grow up. This activity is called 2 minutes speech challenge. Students do this activity in pairs, whereby students take turn to present their speech. While listening, students evaluate their partner's speaking performance using the given speaking rubric. At the end of the activity, students tell each other one area they should work on. So for this activity, because my focus was to build students' confidence to speak, so I actually prepared a speech for them, and they only need to focus on building their confidence. And this is the speaking rubric that I use. So I told my students to aim for level 4. This speaking rubric is actually adapted from Teach for Malaysia speaking rubric. So this is how the speaking rubric looks like. It only focuses on articulation, body language, and audience engagement. Another activity I did with my students was this one. I did it when I taught them Unit 1B, whereby students discuss in groups about their future of mobile phones, and they have to present it. They had a lot of fun. This activity was very fun because students can be very creative. Students can be very creative to come up with their own products. Sorry for the disruption just now. Okay, I will continue from here. Okay, I remember one of the group share about their smartphone. They want the smartphone to be able to be turned into a pencil so that they can bring that phone to school without getting caught. So to me, that's very creative for them to come up with that idea. Another activity is product pitching. I did this activity with my students when I taught them the Unit 3A on page 39 for BLAS textbooks. So students work in group and try to find unusual products in the market or just come up with their own products and then pitch about that product to their friends. And this is also another activity I did with my students called the pushy salesperson. To do this activity, it's actually very simple. I just take pictures, random pictures from the internet, and then usually it's a product that doesn't make sense. So I ask my students to volunteer to sell this product to their friends. During this lesson, there were a lot of arguments between the students because the customer feel that the product was stupid while the seller is trying their best to promote that product. And this is the activity I did with my Form 5 students. It's called Mini Teachers. This idea started when I talked to my students about my struggle to finish the textbook. Then they said they agreed to do blended learning. Means I only do speaking and writing with my students and the rest was through online. So through this strategy, we managed to complete 1 unit per week. So what I did was every week, I asked one group to summarize 1 unit and teach their classmates that particular unit. I think this activity is good because not only that students get to learn from their peers, but they can also improve their presentation skill. Okay. The third strategy I use is by using technology in my classroom. So this is the activity. This activity was supposed to be a Toastmaster challenge where, because I want my students to improve their public speaking skill. I asked them to take video of their public speaking speech and share it on YouTube. Then share the link to this Padlet. I told them I will belanja the winner a cup of Starbucks if they win. Sadly, only 5 students did this and only 1 of them did it correctly, which is about public speaking. However, I still appreciate their efforts and decided to belanja all of them Starbucks at the end. Okay, so this is our photo at Starbucks. And we talked and we had a lot of fun. I get to know my students better. And one of the students actually shared with me that he wants to become a teacher in the future. And he said that he wants to do similar things with his students. Because to us, maybe Sabah is just a kind of drink. But to students, it might be something very precious. And the last strategy I use with my students, which I found very effective, is by using a reward system in my classroom. Okay. My reward system is very simple. I just use sticker. It cost me only 2 ringgit, but it means the world to the student. Okay. After I start using stickers in my class, I realized that my students are more proactive. They want to participate and try to answer questions because their motivation is to get the sticker. And look at how happy they are getting the sticker. So teachers, actually, in our English class every day, many of the students struggle. They doubt themselves, they don't believe in themselves, they are afraid of making mistake. They feel that they are not perfect, they don't want their friends to judge them. Me too, as a teacher, I feel the same way. Every day I struggle, I ask myself, did I prepare enough for my students? Am I a good teacher? Is it enough? I kept asking myself every day the same question. Then I will remember this guy. He is Mr. Lut, and he told us before, we can prepare thousands of teaching aids for our students, but there is only one teaching aid that is the most important, and that is you, the teachers. So teachers, I hope you remember this sentence every time you start to doubt your own capability and start comparing yourself to another teacher. To sum up my sharing today, teachers, I truly believe that taking care of yourself properly is indeed the best strategy to teach speaking. Hence, don't forget to take care of yourself. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okey, Cikgu N, satu perkongsian yang sangat baik bagi membantu murid-murid bertutur dalam bahasa Inggeris kan. Tadi diberitahu ramai yang malu kan. Okey, too shy, speak too shy. Jadi terima kasih banyak kepada Cikgu N ya atas perkongsian tadi. Sidang hadirin, kita akan membuka ruang untuk Q&A sekarang. Jika ada soalan, boleh gunakan bahasa Melayu atau bahasa Inggeris. Okey, kalau tidak ada satu soalan ini, okey, dikirimkan kepada saya. Dia kata selain daripada sistem ganjaran yang menggunakan stiker tadi, apakah yang boleh dibuat untuk memotivasikan pelajar lemah bagi mengikuti aktiviti bertutur dalam bahasa Inggeris?
Hello.
Hello, boleh dengar.
Thank you for the question. I think actually I'm an introvert person. I'm not very approachable actually outside, but in the school I carry myself differently. I make myself very approachable. I smile to my students to the extent that my students told me before that I'm the happiest teacher in the school. They've never seen a teacher that smile a lot and all the time. So I feel that making myself approachable, really help to make my students participate in the class. Just being the kind of person that, the kind of teacher that is easy to talk to. Yeah.
Lagipun Cikgu N pun seorang yang masih muda dan suka senyum kan. Jadi itu juga menjadi penarik. Okay, thank you Cikgu N. Okay, jika tidak ada lagi soalan daripada audiens, kita akan kembali selepas ini. Baiklah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, pembentang ketiga Sidang Selari kita pada petang ini ingin saya perkenalkan Cikgu Muhammad Farouk Shah bin Harun, Guru Bahasa Inggeris dari SMK Bukit Tinggi Klang dari Semenanjung. Beliau pernah mengajar di SMK Bandar Penawar Kota Tinggi Johor selama 4 tahun sebelum bertugas di sekolah sekarang. Cikgu Muhammad Farouk juga pernah menjadi Ketua Panitia Bahasa Inggris sebagai pentaksir kawasan ULBS Bahasa Inggris SPM, panel penggubal soalan BPD Kota Tinggi Johor bagi Bahasa Inggris, panel penggubal soalan PT3 Lembaga Peperiksaan Malaysia, panel semakan buku teks Bahasa Inggris LD KSSR, dan sekarang merupakan setiausaha kurikulum sekolah. Summary bagi pembentangan ini berfokus kepada kaedah penulisan yang berkesan. Kebanyakan murid tidak mahir menguraikan isi dan ini menjejaskan hasil penulisan mereka. Oleh itu, Cikgu Farouk akan berkongsi cara berkesan yang boleh membantu murid mendapatkan idea untuk menulis karangan dalam bahasa Inggris. Dipersilakan Cikgu Farouk.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Thank you so much, the moderator. First of all, I would like to thank JPN Sabah for this opportunity. I'm truly humbled and honored to share one of the best practices, I would say best practices, all right, that I've done so far in my school. Okay, so let's start. All right, so don't just tell, explain. Okay, how, why, what, and so what. Okay, by looking at the title, maybe some of you might feel that I'm picking a fight, but no. Okay, as we go on, I'm sure you will understand what they mean. Okay, so these are some of the difficulties faced by my students, and I'm sure some of you face the same thing as well when they write their essays. Number one, they lack vocabulary. They do not have the right words to express what they want to write. Okay, number two, unnecessary details. All right, they provide information that are not needed. Okay, ideas and sentences not well linked. Okay, they have the sentences, they have the ideas, but they are not well connected. And the most challenging one is the next issue, which is they have no idea what to write. I think this is very common in our classroom. Okay, so most of the time, all right, our students provide details that are not linked to the main point. Okay, they have the point. Okay, they've brainstormed the point, they know what they want to write, but then the details, the elaboration are not suitable. Okay, even if they have the elaboration, sometimes they do not elaborate their points thoroughly. So things are left hanging. Okay, and another challenge is students repeat the same details, but they use different words. So basically, they lack substance. They feel they have written a lot, but actually they just wrote the same thing over and over again. So because of that, I have come up with something to help my students. Actually, this was taught to me by my secondary school teacher. So because it was so effective, I use it with my students as well. So how do I show them the way? So I introduce them these two things. I'm sure you teachers out there are doing the same thing as well, maybe in different terms, different words, yeah? I introduce them the notion of topic sentence. So what is a topic sentence? A topic sentence is a sentence that introduces the main point. And then after the topic sentence, they need to provide the elaboration. So what is elaboration? Elaboration is the details you need to provide to explain or illustrate the main point. So I only focus on these two things when they write. So how do I make it clearer to them? Definitely, when you explain this to your students, this is based on experience, all right? They will be like, okay, what is that? What is topic sentence? What's elaboration? Sometimes these words are too big for them. So we show them what it is. So to show them, I use this template. Okay, it's a very, very simple template, and I think it's very doable in the classroom. Be it if your class is low proficiency students or you have high proficiency students, you can use this in any classes. All right, so you make a table. Okay, you have the topic sentence at the top. Okay, and then you have the elaboration. And then next to the elaboration, you use the questions that I mentioned earlier on. The why, the how, the what, and the so what. So now you know we are not picking a fight, all right? So these questions are guiding questions, all right, to make our students think when they want to write, when they want to elaborate their points. Okay, so a very simple template, you can print it out or you can just write it on the board, whichever suits you. Okay, so let me show you an example. Okay, the title that I chose, so this is actually taken from an exercise book, Form 5 SPM exercise book, Part 2 essay, the 150-word essay. All right, the title is Ways to Stay Healthy. Okay, so one of the points that the students come up with is exercise daily. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, students, sometimes they have no problem coming out with points, but they might have some issues when they want to elaborate. Okay, so we use the template that I introduced just now. So exercise daily. The first step that they need to do is they need to write the topic sentence. Make the point into a complete sentence. So this is an example. So a possible sentence for the point is, one way to stay healthy is by exercising daily. Okay, that is done. It's clear. So when we use this, we can emphasize to students that when you use a topic sentence, your point is clear. Everyone will know what you'll be talking about. Okay, that is done. Now move on to the elaboration. Okay, what? What example of exercises can you do? Okay, then you might say jogging, cycling, brisk walking, or any other exercises. Okay, what? Why? Why do we need to exercise? It can help us to stay fit. Okay, ask more questions. How? How by exercising you can stay fit? You burn calories and fat. All right, so what? So what's going to happen if we burn calories and fat? We can stay slim and healthy. Okay, those are actually very simple points, a very simple elaboration, you know, that sometimes when you just ask to this, okay, now write about exercise daily, elaborate. Okay, sometimes they do not know the way. So we need to show them the way as teachers. All right, so once they have done all that, okay, they write complete simple sentences for each point, each elaboration, and then we can combine everything into one paragraph. So at the bottom, there's an example of a paragraph, right? One way to stay healthy is by exercising daily. That's the main point. So what's the elaboration? What exercises can you do? We can exercise by jogging, cycling, or brisk walking. All right, how do these exercises help us? Okay, these can help us stay fit. Why? Because we can burn calories and fat. So what's the result? With that, we can stay slim and healthy. Okay, it's a very organized step-by-step kind of thing that we can teach our students. All right, it may look like a lot of work, but actually it's not. It is a lot of work at the beginning, but once your students are used to it, it'll become automatic, and that's when you feel good, not just for your lessons, but you feel good that the students have actually understood how to elaborate. Okay? All right, so what do we do? Okay, to make this work, we can't just throw the template and, okay, let's write. No. Okay, we need to explain to them. Okay, number one, okay, this is a bit exam-oriented, but this is the skill that we need to teach our students, so I hope you are okay with that. All right, so step one, you need to tell the students, help them to understand the topic that they got and understand the main point that they are going to write. Once they understand the main point, they can write the topic sentence. Okay, and then number two, they elaborate. How? By answering these simple questions. What? Example. Okay, why do you say so? How is that possible? So what? What's the result? Okay, and then once you get all the details, step three, use simple and suitable connectors as well as linkers to connect everything. Okay, for weaker students, we don't have to teach them connectors like on the other hand, nevertheless. We can just use simple ones, because sometimes when we teach them with all these things, it's not that we do not want to teach them that. At the beginning, start with something simpler so that they will not be overwhelmed. Okay, so this is actually very simple. I'm sure once you try it out, you'll be fine. All right, okay, so today I'm going to show you some of the writing samples that I took from my students. Okay, it's a bit blurry there, but it's still readable. Okay, so the topic is the importance of internet to students. So one of the students mentioned one of the importance is for online classes. Okay, the topic sentence is students use the internet for online classes. See, very simple. Just tell them you can write simple sentences, no problem. Okay, it's not the focus of this activity is not to judge or assess their grammar, not so much. Okay, but the focus is to ensure that they are fluent in writing, fluent in elaborating, right? Okay, once they have come up with the topic sentence, why do you say it's useful for online classes? Because of the lockdown caused by the pandemic. Okay, so what? Okay, due to this, everyone had to learn at home. Okay, so what? The internet is the only way to participate in lessons. Okay, so the questions will guide them to think. Sometimes they answer with just one word or maybe a phrase consisting of 2 words. It's fine. Write them down. Okay, and from there, we can show them how to string other words to make them into sentences. Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, causes of animal extinction. Okay, this is done in a higher proficiency class. Okay, so let's look at how this student elaborated his point. Okay, hunting and poaching. Okay, besides that, hunting and poaching are another cause of animal extinction. Okay, or you can just say hunting and poaching also lead to animal extinction. Another reason is hunting and poaching. Doesn't matter as long as they have the topic sentence. And then elaborate. Okay, why are these animals being hunted to be made into products? What animals are hunted for products? Rhinos and tigers for medicines. Okay, so what's wrong with poaching or hunting? It will reduce the animal population, and as time passes by, it will no longer exist. Okay, so for my higher proficiency class, I still use this template because the higher proficiency students, they have lots of ideas. So sometimes they just write everything that's in their mind and it's not organized. So by using this template actually helps them to be selective of what they want to write. Because as we know in the exam, there's a word limit, right? So they have to follow the word limit. And this is actually a very good way, I would say, to control them, especially in what they write. Okay. Is it doable with the current writing assessment format? Definitely, absolutely. I've explained to you just now. Okay. Just remember, okay, these are some of the things that we need to remember if we use this template, if we plan to teach this to our student. Okay, number one, always make it a habit to brainstorm for main points. Every time you discuss an essay question, when you get the topic, always make it a point, tell the students, brainstorm for main points first. All right, and then you teach them the organization. What do you write in the first paragraph? What do you write in the second paragraph? And that's paragraph level. And then you go into each paragraph. What do you write first? What should be the first sentence? What should be the next? Okay, number three, always emphasize on the word limit so that they do not overdo their essay. Okay, limit the number of sentences per point. Okay, like the one that I showed you just now. Okay, example. Okay, this one. Okay, 1 point elaborated with 3 sentences. Okay, so for if there's a word limit to the essay, just tell them 1 point, only 1 or 2 sentences for elaboration. That's it. Okay, make it a point. At first, it'll be very hard because some students feel it's not enough. I want to write more. Or for the low proficiency students, 2 sentences are too much. I want to write 1. It's fine. Okay, but always make it a point. When you drill this to them, they will remember. Okay, and sooner or later, they will be able to follow the template. Okay. All right, and most importantly, number 5, you need to show students how to link the sentences. Like I said earlier, the linkers, the connectors, even simple ones are sufficient. Okay, so these are more examples of students writing. Examples are taken based on part 2 essay question, the 125 to 150 words for SPM. Yeah? Okay, here the topic is the disadvantages of homework. Okay, the student came out with this point. It's too difficult to do on our own. So we make it into 1 sentence. Disadvantages of homework is, or the disadvantage of homework is too difficult to do on our own. So this is written by the students on the board. Yeah? So why? Why do you say it's too difficult to do on our own? It is because we don't understand the questions. And so why, if you don't understand, this can make us stress. So it's very simple. Okay, and then the next point, other than that, homework takes our leisure time. Okay, what do you mean? Okay, so give example. For example, we can't spend time with parents because of too much homework. Okay, very simple. Okay, as for this class that I'm teaching, efforts was very hard, you know, because they are of lower proficiency. So I had to do this many times with them until they are able to do it on their own automatically. And this is one of the best moments, all right? Okay, next one. Okay, this activity actually, I actually asked the students to become teachers. Okay, they are in groups of 4, and so they have to teach their friends, how to elaborate the point. So from there, I know whether they understand, and at the same time, they can check their understanding as well, whether they understand what topic sentence is, what elaboration is. Okay, so this is what they did. It's about the how to secure our homes. Okay, besides, we should have a security system. So that's the point. What kind of security system? Such as having an alarm. Okay, why do you need a security system? This can alert the homeowners or neighbors, especially when the house is vacant. Okay, another example, security cameras. Okay, how security cameras can help keep our home safe? We can check out our home condition anytime. So what if we can check our homes? We can reduce the number of break-ins or accidents. Okay, again, the questions guide them. Okay, so basically that's about it from my part, my sharing. It's very simple, it's very doable. Okay, the template, you can print it out or you can write it on the board. I suggest, I really encourage all of you to try it out because it's gonna work. All right, whatever it is, remember the things that we need to consider that I mentioned just now, and I'm sure that we will all be able to do this and help our students to write better. Okay, and before I end, there's one thing I want to share on the slide. Okay, I always I always remind myself of this saying, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains. Okay, we want students to elaborate, so we need to explain to them how to do it. Okay, so that's about it. Thank you very much.
Oke, baiklah, satu perkongsian yang sangat baik. Terima kasih banyak kepada Cikgu Muhammad Farouk. Sidang hadirin, kita akan membuka ruang untuk Q&A sekarang.
Any question?
Kalau belum ada lagi, ada juga satu soalan. Ada satu soalan nih, dia bertanya, adakah kaedah PDP ini sesuai digunakan untuk murid-murid pada tahap penguasaan yang rendah ataupun murid yang lemah? Biasanya di kelas ujung.
Okay, actually, the answer is can. You can definitely use it. It's all about the choice of title, the choice of your topic. And like I said, maybe for the lower proficiency classes, you need to provide more scaffolding at the beginning, more guidance. But that's normal. So at the beginning, you give more, and as time goes by, you reduce it, you let them do it on their own more. Definitely they can. And always remember that the main aim of this activity is to increase students' fluency in writing. So don't stress too much on the grammar part. It can be done later. We just want them to generate ideas on what to write, what to elaborate. Okay, it's definitely doable. Good luck.
Oke, terima kasih Cikgu Muhammad Farouk atas perkongsian.
Thank you so much.
Oke, terima kasih banyak. Kita akan kembali selepas ini. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati, kita sudah tiba kepada pembentang keempat Sidang Selari Bidang Bahasa Aspirasi SIC Plus Sabah Siri 2 tahun 2022. Ingin saya perkenalkan Cikgu Farah Azilia binti Ahmad Azhar merupakan pemeriksa kertas bahasa Inggeris SPM bermula pada tahun lalu 2021. Juga pembentang bagi MRSM Best Practices di sempurna dalam English Teachers Mini Colloquium. Cikgu Farah Azilia binti Azhar merupakan guru bahasa Inggris daripada MRSM Sempurna Sabah, juga dari Sempurna ya. Okey, selain itu jawatan yang disandang oleh beliau adalah guru penasihat English Motivational Committee MRSM Sempurna. Okey, summary of the presentation beliau petang ini merupakan perkongsian tentang aktiviti UNGA atau Seja UNGA yang merangkumi keempat-empat skill iaitu membaca, menulis, mendengar dan bertutur. Manakala aktiviti yang kedua iaitu Write Your Heart Out, menekankan kepentingan penulisan bebas. Dipersilakan Cikgu Farah Azilia.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Thank you to the moderator. Thank you to JPN Sabah for having me today in this Jajah session. So my name is Farah Azilia binti Ahmad Azhar, currently working at MRSM Sempurna Sabah. So without wasting any time, I will share 2 activities that we have been doing in our school. Okay. So the first activity is United Nations General Assembly or UNGA. So what is UNGA? You might be wondering what UNGA is because it sounds familiar, right? So in Malay, we call it as Pertubuhan Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu or PBB. So UNGA is a program that provides a platform for students to do detailed review and discover on their own about member states of the United Nations. Okay, so next. So a little bit background about UNGA. For your information, United Nations General Assembly or UNGA is one of the activities in English Everyday Program or EEDP, which is compulsory to be carried out in all MRSMs in Malaysia. Okay. Next, we move on to the aim and objective of this program. So this program offers an opportunity for the students to demonstrate their research or study in the form of writing, presentations, exhibitions, and performances. So in this picture, the boys were actually dancing to demonstrate traditional performance from their country, which is Somalia. So next one, as we can see, the student is explaining about traditional food from Switzerland to the judges. So the second objective of this program is it provides students an exposure to the procedure of United Nations General Assembly, which in future develops their civic awareness, appreciation and understanding of different cultural heritage, world history, geography, economic, social and political issues. And the third objective is to prepare students to become active learners, make sense of the past, and understand its connection to the present. So look at those happy faces. And lastly, this program offers an opportunity for the students to develop their speaking abilities and are able to use English for communication. Okay, next, let us look at how this program is being conducted. Okay, so first thing first, the teacher will do a briefing to all students who will be involved in this program. So this time we chose all Form 4 students. Since we only have 3 Form 4 classes, we assigned a country for each homeroom. So after the students got their country, they will need to do a thorough research about the country. So as you can see, this is from Switzerland. So this one is representing Poland. And this one is from Croatia. Okay, so to make it more interesting and fun, we have a few competitions during the presentation day, such as Best Booth Display, Best Booth Presentation, Best Costume, Best Food, Best Cultural Performance, and Best Country Overall. Okay. So during the presentation day, students will wear the traditional costumes from the country, prepare the traditional dishes, perform traditional performances, and give a presentation about the country. Okay, so what are the effect and impact of this program? We hope by organizing this program, students will have the exposure of the world history, geography, economic, social, and political issues around them. We also hope the students will experience meaningful and interesting learning techniques with the use of information and communications technology, or ICT. So as you can see in the picture, the student is presenting information about her country, Estonia. So the two ladies and a gentleman in the picture are actually my colleagues, which are also English teachers. So they were very supportive and enthusiastic to represent China and South Korea. So that's all about UNGA. So we move on to the second activity that we do with our students, which is Write Your Heart Out. So this activity is actually introduced by my team member, Madam Nur Fatin Afikah binti Ahmad Nizam. So what is Write Your Heart Out? Well, this activity mainly focuses on free writing. So this is the cover that we use to promote the activity to the students. The aim and objective of this activity is to make students feel comfortable writing about different topics. So as we know, free writing is the practice of writing without a prescribed structure, which means no outlines, no notes, or no formats. So as you can see here, the students can just respond to the topic and write how they feel about the topic. They don't need to mention their names if they don't want to, so they can remain anonymous. So how this activity is being conducted? So on Padlet, the teacher will write any interesting topics every day or every week. So examples of the topic were, if you could have your own superpower, what would it be and why? Okay, so this is what we did with the students. We shared the link on WhatsApp group. The students click the link and they can start writing. Easy, right? Okay, so during this time, the class was conducted outdoor as the topic for Write Your Heart Out on that day was, outside the window, you see something you can't believe. What is it? So that is the topic on that day. So I wanted them to be imaginative, and by being outdoor, hopefully they will be able to have ideas on what to write about. Okay, next, we look at the effect and impact of this activity to the students. So by doing this, we hope that students are able to broaden their knowledge on different topics, and we also hope that students are able to feel the fun in writing leisurely, and they can write anything they want without getting any remarks. So I think that's all from me. I hope that what I have shared will be useful to the students, no matter where you are. So thank you so much, and that's all from me.
Okey, juga satu perkongsian yang sangat menarik daripada Cikgu Farah Azilia. Terima kasih banyak Cikgu. Okey, sidang hadirin, kita akan membuka ruang untuk Q&A sekarang. Jika ada soalan. Okey, jika tidak, kita akan kembali selepas ini. Para penonton sekalian, sebelum kita ke sesi rumusan, kita akan menonton penyampaian e-sijil kepada semua pembentang sidang selari bidang bahasa yang akan disampaikan oleh Yang Berbahagia Datuk Tahnia binti Haji Jaman, Pengarah Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah, sebagai tanda penghargaan atas perkongsian amalan terbaik setiap pembentang pada petang ini. Jom mari kita saksikan bersama. kita sudah sampai ke penghujung sesi pembentangan Sidang Selari Bidang Bahasa, Jaringan dan Jalinan Holistik Jajah, Aspirasi 4 SAINS Plus Sabah, Siri 2, Peringkat Kebangsaan tahun 2022, Anjuran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah. Syabas dan tahniah buat keempat-empat pembentang Sidang Selari Bidang Bahasa pada petang ini. Sesungguhnya perkongsian yang sangat bermanfaat buat semua dalam meningkatkan ilmu dan cetusan idea, khususnya buat para pendidik dan pelajar. Sebagai tanda penghargaan, dijemput semua EJK pelaksana Sidang Selari Bidang Bahasa ke konti. Dipersilakan.
Mana dia? Siapa mana? Naik dia. Dengan bulat-bulat gitu.
Lambai-lambai. Izinkan saya, Cikgu Angelin Tundim, moderator Anda, untuk mengundurkan diri. Anak kucing berlari-lari sambil mengejar burung tempua. Selesai sudah tugas diberi, di lain masa pasti bersua. Sekian, terima kasih.